We continue to see alarming warning signs that we are nearing an economic collapse here in the United States. We are getting closer day by day, and yet people out there continue to buy stupid stuff. It's Sunday, October 27, 2019. Please make sure you like this video. Share this video with everyone you know. Blast it all over your social media. We must continue to wake up Americans, and make sure you hit the bell notification down below so that you're notified with the newest video. We are witnessing insecurity all over the United States of America to a degree we've never seen before. We see people buying clothes, buying cars, buying jewelry just to impress people they don't even know, don't even want to know, people they don't even like. It's all about this insecurity to say, look at me, look what I have more than you. This narcissistic behavior that is going to destroy so many people when this collapse hits America. You know, people complain that they don't have money. Here's a little bit of advice. Take a look at your credit card statement, and you might find out that you don't have money because you're buying stupid stuff. Did you really need a pair of $300 gym shoes? Did you need a pair of $200 or $300 jeans? Did you need to put that Mastro's or that Morton Steakhouse dinner on your credit card? People continue to complain that they don't have money because they're out there wasting it away, running up their credit cards on stupid stuff just to impress people on Facebook, Instagram, and all over social media. Everyone has a fake life now on social media, whether that be Instagram or Facebook. Right over here we have an airport with private jets, and I'm sure there's people that have snuck out there taking pictures, like they're boarding a private jet, yet have never flown on a private jet in their life, never will, but it's all about the illusion of looking like they're somebody. Like they're gonna fly on a private jet, or standing in front of a Rolls Royce and posting that all over the internet, posting on the internet what they had for dinner last night, whether that's Morton's or Mastro's or wherever it may be, running up their credit cards and getting deeper in debt just to impress people on social media. Here's something I think all of us must understand. These people who continue to buy shit that they don't need will lose. The people buying to impress you and I, they've already lost. It's not about money. It's not about what you have. It's about being awake. It's about being prepared. And it's about having the least amount of debt possible. Myself, I measure wealth by debt. If somebody is driving a $100,000 car and living in a $700,000 house, but they have massive debt, massive bills, are they really rich, or do they just have a lot of debt? The person living in a much smaller house, driving a much more conservative car, who actually has $50,000 or $100,000 in cash put away, has $50,000 in hard assets put away, that person is much wealthier than the person living in the much bigger house, driving the much nicer car. Because the person living in the smaller house, he's probably going to pay that house off. He has hard assets. He has an emergency fund. He can afford to fix a flat tire, where the person living in the bigger house and the nicer car and driving the nicer car can't even afford to take care of a flat tire if that arises. So it's all about this illusion, looking like something that you're not. And my advice on this video today is, it doesn't matter what people think of you. What matters is that you are awake and that you are preparing and that you are getting your debts paid off. We got to get out of this narcissistic mindset, this illusion of trying to impress people we don't know, people we don't like, people we don't even care about. We need to stop doing that. It looks so, just when you look at these people on social media, I mean, who really cares what you had for dinner last night? Who really cares what kind of shoes you're wearing today? I don't really care. You probably don't really care. What I do care about is that I'm getting my debts paid off, that I'm out training, that I'm getting better physical and spiritual shape and better financial shape, because I know this economic tsunami is coming. And all these people on social media trying to impress you and I, these people, the sheep, the herd, the masses, these exact people are going to lose. And you'll probably never see most of these people ever post another picture on social media when this collapse hits, because they are going to be completely wiped out. They won't even have a credit card to turn to. So the advice today is take a hold of your own life. Stop trying to impress other people. Impress yourself. Be loyal to yourself, your family. Be preparing. Continue to be awake and informed about what is coming, because this is going to be the worst disaster America has ever seen. I believe that one of the best things we could have done was not had a bailout in 2008. These financial institutions and banks should have been allowed to fail. The free market should have dictated what happened. But basically, it's more entitlement. People were rewarded for bad behavior. It set up, I think, a horrible example for the country. And people now just believe that if something bad happens, that their central bank or their government is going to come and save them, because there is no such thing or such things as losers. Everybody gets bailed out. Anything goes wrong, the Fed is going to step in, cut rates, print more money, as we're seeing right now. It's this entitlement mentality that we're even seeing in the markets, that they are going to do whatever they have to do to make sure that people don't feel the pain, that this economy doesn't feel the pain, that the stock market doesn't feel the pain. These institutions should have all failed, or the ones that make these bad loans should have failed. But we reward people with trophies now that take 5th place, 6th place, 7th place, 8th place, 10th place. There are no losers. So we will not allow anybody too big to fail. Nobody fails. Banks don't fail. And I think that was a really, really bad decision for America. And it didn't get us out of the recession. It is now going to cause a major depression here in America as the debt continues to skyrocket. And as people just continue to live like there's no problem. We've been living on a bailout that has pretty much just continued to make people debt slaves, get people farther into debt, the country's farther into debt. And so we basically put a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound, and we will pay a severe price for what happened in 2008. A lot of people say, oh, when's it going to fail? It failed back in 2008. It never got fixed. It is a temporary Band-Aid on a victim who is bleeding profusely, yet people don't understand that. There will be no bailout this time. The Fed is going broke as their balance sheets continue to expand, as we will get a rate cut this month. And that will put us at 1.5% to 1.75%. And we are running out of ammo for when we hit recession. And we certainly will have no ammo left for when we hit the depression. So think about the mindset of people when we do hit this recession, which I believe is going to turn into a depression, as people are given trophies for 10th place, as banks are bailed out, as we are witnessing quantitative easing take place right now. This whole entitlement, this whole illusion, all this fakeness, people living fake lives, people being something that they're really not. Reality is going to come to America, and I believe America needs this. America needs a real hard kick in the mouth, and it's going to get it. And when people experience a depression, quite possibly the worst in our history, how do you think these people are going to handle it? These Americans today are so soft, so dependent on other people making decisions for them. They are the sheep, they are the herd. They follow anything. They follow, just think how many people follow the Kardashians and reality TV. People cannot think for themselves. People are dependent on pharmaceuticals, illegal drugs. We're going to really see what people are made of during this depression. And many people are not going to come out of it because they have been so dumbed down, so weakened mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially that there's no way they're going to make it out. And by the time that they figure out what's going on, it will be too late for them, unfortunately. The Fed is pumping hundreds of billions of dollars into the debt market, keeping the yield curve normal. We can't even look at the bond yields now to even figure out what's going on, because it's been hijacked by the Federal Reserve also, and it is completely manipulated, completely fake. You really have to think with your own mind, using your own two eyes, your own two ears, and really use situational awareness of what's going on. When you go out there, you see the amount of homeless people, you see your infrastructure crumbling, you see the vacant stores, you see the vacant malls, you see more and more houses going up for sale. You can see with your own two eyes what's going on. You can look at the football games, the baseball games, fewer and fewer people going to these games. Things are definitely starting to happen here. We look at the statistics, the facts, the numbers. People are cutting down on spending. I'm not going to repeat this anymore, but take a look at what's happening in retail, what's happening in the auto sector, what's happening in freight. You guys know what's going on, and it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure what's coming. This week, we are getting a cut, an interest rate cut. I believe that is to be 100%. I believe it will be 25 basis points. S&P 500 is at near all-time highs. The Dow Jones, not that far off. We could see all-time highs in the S&P and the Dow Jones this week, unless something comes out of left field. Liquidity is drying up. So they're going to continue to pump more cash into the system. Was it Thursday? They had to pump in $134 billion into our banks yet again because of this liquidity crisis that is taking place. And another reminder to you, do you really feel that your money is safe in your bank? If you don't, you need to start pulling some of it out and putting it somewhere else. I truly believe that the banks are not safe, and I support anybody pulling money out now, just keeping enough to pay the bills, because we have no idea what tomorrow brings. But it does not take a rocket scientist to figure out if they're pumping hundreds of billions of dollars into the banking system because of a liquidity crisis. I mean, they don't have the cash. That should make you worry. Where is the cash, and why do they need this cash injected? Where is the cash? The zombies, the masses, have no idea what is going on. They're already starting Christmas shopping. And many of these zombies haven't even paid off last year's credit card bill. Take advantage of precious metals right now while the dollar still has some buying power, while precious metals are at basement prices. No doubt. I mean, gold is at all-time highs in 70 countries around the world right now, but it's not here. So I would take advantage. So many people get duped into this corporate holiday we call Christmas now, of running up credit cards, buying stuff with money that you don't have. If you have some real fiat currency, while it still has some buying power, go buy yourself some silver, go buy yourself some gold, and do the right thing. Really think about what you're doing with your money. I'm not saying don't buy your family members Christmas presents, but instead of running up your credit cards doing so, maybe take a little bit of cash and buy some hard, tangible assets. And do you really think you should be buying Christmas cards or Christmas presents if you need to use credit cards to do it? Probably not. The Fed may not run out of dollars because they can print dollars out of thin air. They can put dollars on a computer screen. But they may run out of people who accept dollars for assets and labor. And when people in other countries start losing faith in the US dollar, then we're going to see real big trouble here in America. And I do believe it is very important to have some cash on hand right now. It's an emergency fund. I believe the dollar will be the last currency to run into trouble as everybody is fleeing to it, because most currencies around the world are in worse shape than the US dollar. So we'll be the last ones to go down, and it will have buying power, at least some buying power to the very end. So make sure that you are diversified with property, precious metals, some cash, and make sure that most of all that you are the most important asset. Currently, the federal funds rate is set at 1.75 to 2%. We're going to get that cut this week. That will put us at 1.5 to 1.75. They need to keep stimulating the economy by making it cheaper for consumers and businesses to borrow money, especially right now, because They need to dupe the masses into going out and doing a bunch of Christmas shopping to prop up this economy. Remember, 70% of the GDP here is consumption, and they're going to make sure that the consumer continues to borrow more money, going deeper into debt, and spending and buying stuff with money they don't have to keep this whole Ponzi scheme going. And corporations with low rates will continue to borrow money cheap and buy corporate buybacks, purchase their own stocks, propping up the stock market even more. So the consumer will prop up the economy by buying stuff with money they don't have, and the corporations will prop up the stock market by buying stock with very cheap money, propping up the stock market, making you believe everything is okay. And isn't it funny? People will go, wow, the market's doing great this week. I'm going to go out and spend. It's going to be a great Christmas. When most of those people aren't even in the market. The market is so detached from reality. But all people think is if the stock market's good, I'm good. The economy's good. I'm going to go spend money. Don't be one of these people. These are the losers, and they are going to get wiped out. Do not think like one of the herd. So just to let everybody know, my power here in Southern California has not been shut off, but an article here in Fox News. Insurers drop fire coverage for 350,000 Californians over the past year. Now, here's a question I have. How are they ever going to be able to sell their homes if they want to move? Because if you cannot get coverage, what bank is going to insure you on a home sale if you can't get insurance on that property? So these people are absolutely screwed. So, I mean, it's so sad to see what is happening to the state of California, and it's obvious why people are running out. But again, how do these people sell? If they wanted to get out of California, get out of these fire areas, they're going to have an impossible time selling their homes when their homes are uninsurable. In some cases, annual premiums were $800 to $1,000. They went up to $2,500 to $5,000. This is a 300% rise. How do these people even afford to live in these homes for the most part now? 90,000 people so far have been evacuated in California. We have roughly about 2.5 million people currently without electricity here in California. California is basically burning in so many different ways. And it's just unbelievable. Again, very questionable how these fires are starting. It should scare you to death that a power company like PG&E can just flip a switch and cut your power off if it's windy outside. So again, they can turn your town or your city into Venezuela with a flip of a switch and say we're cutting your power off for a week because it's very, very windy in certain parts of California. So we've had people die because electricity's been cut off. And it really turns your life upside down. But just imagine if they had a reason to cut it off for 30 days. What would you do? Are you prepared? Do you have food, water, and security? Most people watching this video do. But I will tell you, most people here in California do not. So again, the herds, the masses will just continue to take major risk, continue to live their life in denial, but we know what happens to the masses. They're going to lose at some point. And just think, if you have an economic collapse and you have a power outage on top of that, you are in a world of hurt. This is on the Hill. Slumping Halloween sales spook experts. Experts believe we will see a second consecutive year of spending which will be down for Halloween. So this will be the second Halloween in a row that they see spending being down. And my question is, what does this mean for Christmas, as many of the experts believe that we will see a 4% increase in Christmas shopping and Christmas sales? Please comment down below. I want to know what you think. Is Christmas going to be up this year, or will it be down? Please comment down below. Would like to know your thoughts on this. LA Times, physical currency is experiencing a resurgence. People all over the world's most advanced nations are holding more physical cash than ever, primarily $100 bills. Ask yourself, as we're continued to be brainwashed, but with this agenda that we, just need a plastic card, that everything's going to just go to electric money, so that they can follow everything that you're doing. But ask yourself, a lot of people don't like that idea, and this is why so many people now are putting cash away. These are the people that remember what happened in 2008. They understand that the next 2008 is going to be 2008 on steroids, Great Depression 2.0, and they don't want their money tied up in a money market, maybe in a 401k, maybe in some sort of investment in paper. They want access to cash because they saw what happened in 2008. They know it's coming again. Also, many of these people are losing faith in the banks as they're witnessing this banking crisis, this liquidity crisis, and this quantitative easing, this bailout that is taking place right now in the banking sector. So there's many reasons why I believe people are putting cash away. They want easy accessibility, they don't trust the banks, and they understand that the repeat of 2008 is coming. This one is going to be much worse. I'm going to leave it right there. Have a phenomenal week. Make sure you're preparing. Make sure you're praying for this country. And just really make sure that you continue to do your due diligence, your homework. Make sure that you, no matter who you're watching, listening to, make sure you are confirming what they are saying. Make sure you're doing your own research, and keep waking yourself up, your friends, your family. We know most of them won't listen, but I'll tell you what, because of all your great comments down there are people that watch these videos who have woken up, not because of what I said, but by what many of you have said in the comments down below. You have really opened up a lot of minds, including my own, my friends, family members. So keep going with the comments. They're enlightening. They're really educating people. God bless every one of you. Talk to you very soon.